You know how there's like trends in like health and lifestyle stuff throughout the years? Like in the let's say like in the 90s it was like, go 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 do a lot of but like exercise and work and stuff, and like that was one, and then like minimize fats or something.
Yeah.
And then now it's like go paleo or some shit. Speaking of stuff from the past, this is our year review. The first one to be an actual year.
This is true, yeah.
An actual 12-month calendar year for the podcast review. So,
and what a year it is to have that be.
Kind of a dead meme, but
a little bit, yeah.
But we'll look at the separate events and whatnot, mostly as they relate to the most important stuff, like the podcast.
That is most important, yep.
I mean, yeah, honestly, can't think of anything else.
Nah, that's probably the most significant world event.
Mm-hmm. And it's, how there's like trends in like health and lifestyle stuff throughout the years? Like in the, let's say like in the 90s, it was like, go 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 do a lot of but like exercise and work and stuff, and like that was one, and then like minimize fats or something.
Yeah.
And then now it's like go paleo or some shit. Speaking of stuff from the past, this is our year review. The first one to be an actual year.
This is true, yeah.
An actual 12-month calendar year for the podcast review. So,
and what a year it is to have that be.
Kind of a dead meme, but
a little bit, yeah.
But we'll look at the separate events and whatnot, mostly as they relate to the most important stuff, like the podcast.
That is most important, yep.
I mean, yeah, honestly, can't think of anything else.
Nah, that's probably the most significant world event.
Mm-hmm. And it's still going strong, so you're welcome, everyone.
Very much so, yeah.
So I guess to start, we for our last year review, we each set sort of like goals or focuses for the next year to follow. You instigated that. What would you call them?
I would call them yearly themes.
Yeah.
What that basically is something purposefully more vague or more high level than a goal or an objective or anything like that. There's a great video by CGP Grey on yearly themes that I'll leave in the show notes that explains it really well in a short period of time. But essentially the idea is that it's just this kind of guiding idea or principle you want to try and have in the back of your mind whenever you're making decisions. So, for instance, mine over the last year was the year of the portfolio. So I was just trying to remember throughout the year to focus more on that and to try and take on more opportunities or focus more on things that would help develop my portfolio.
Yeah.
I've heard the example of like year of order before. So like trying to have a more like structured life, and it's just like whenever you can have the opportunity to, have things well put together. Or the opposite, year of novelty.
Yeah, year of order doesn't sound like a super fun year, not gonna lie. It sounds a little boring, but
you know what? I think for some people, like for some phase of their life, it's necessary. If things seems a little chaotic.
Definitely necessary. Sounds not fun, but yeah.
Well, it's not like every decision that you make ever is going to have to be orderly.
You just become a Borg.
It's kind of like, if you think of it like a trend line, like your overall life or like how you're doing in this one aspect, you're just trying to move that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Also, before we get super into it, I just want to like paint a little bit of a picture for the audience here. So this is a rare in-person Standard Humans edition where we are in my suburban garage, surrounded by hockey equipment and garden tools, sitting on an old couch and a beat-up old leather seat. And it kind of feels like Wayne's World.
Yeah, that's what I said when I got here, and apparently that's what you said the other day too. So, yeah.
So it's a pretty good feeling.
If you picture Wayne's World with Wayne and Garth just sitting there doing the show, that's actually pretty much exactly what we look like right now. We've even got like the coats and like the hats and everything all on.
I even have an electric drum set in the basement. So I'm basically Garth.
Excellent.
And you own a guitar? At your old house you do.
Yeah. It's at one of the houses. Yes.
Yeah. I remember I saw it once before.
It's basically Wayne's World.
Basically Wayne's World. Thought I'd paint a nice little picture here. So it's also freaking cold in here.
It is. Yeah, we've got the little 1 cubic foot space heater going, but
yeah, it's doing all it can, but that's not very much.
It's got the hustle, but it ain't got the performance.
Yeah. So yeah, if it sounds like we're slightly hypothermic, we are.
That will do it. Yeah, this is the first time in 9 months that we've seen each other.
Yeah, I mean, I can indeed say that about a lot of people, but
that's true.
It's really strange actually, because we video call every week, so it's so funny actually seeing you in person and being like, oh yeah, you have stuff below the shoulders.
I don't know, man. It feels very normal.
Yeah, it's still funny though, because it's I'm used to just that square, and so it's oh yeah, you're actually
yeah, I like this. This is good.
Mm-hmm. Much better in person usually.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I've been missing it.
But anyway, so for this episode, we're basically going to look back through the full 12 months of podcast before this and talk about the sort of stuff which ones we liked, which ones we hated. Nah, just kidding, they're all good. And then sort of give a rating or a review
of the overall year. Rate our years. And then, of course, also get into the themes and how those went, and maybe set some more for next year.
That I'm gonna have to think hard about during this episode, because I actually didn't make a theme yet. I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh yeah, your interview, yeah, this is my theme. But then now I'm like, oh yeah, I have to make a new one. It's over now.
I feel like mine's a little bit of a work in progress still. I've got an overall one that I think I'm happy with, but I haven't worked out the specifics or what'll go with it yet.
Maybe when I hear yours, I'll be like, that's pretty good. I'll copy that. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
But anyway, so jumping into the looking back through the past 12 months, what was the first podcast of 2020 that we made?
All right, this is going to be fun. This is going to be the 22nd episode.
Holy!
Yeah.
That's almost 2 a week.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. Or sorry, no, 2 a month, not 2 a week.
That would be intense.
Yeah. two a month.
Well, no. 52 divided by... No, that's
No. It's almost 2 a month, because that'd be 24. 12 months.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I see.
So,
I see now.
And the year's actually not over. So, Aiden, you're kind of nuts at editing. Just gotta say.
All right. So yeah, Season 2 of the Standard Humans podcast started out with using meditation to manage stress. Okay,
I think I remember that one. That was I just moved back to Waterloo and stuff, and I'd kind of just set up my basement apartment and stuff.
I feel like you can really get the gist of the episodes just by looking through the show notes. I'm remembering transcendental meditation now.
I'm gonna need a refresher for that.
It was a very culty sounding thing where it's all about deep breathing and stuff.
Literally about ascending.
But they were like, all right, look, it doesn't matter if you get an hour less sleep in the morning to get this in, because this is more refreshing than sleep.
Oh my goodness.
It will leave you so much better off. And I think there was even a course you could take in France to become an instructor.
Oh yeah. That little do these people know, that's actually why I went to France.
Ooh,
yeah.
Honestly, that still sounds like a pretty hype vacation.
Yeah, Sangi actually is a cult leader teaching me transcendental meditation. Disclaimer: that was a joke. She is not. Anyway.
Or was that the joke?
Oh, where's the joke?
Is meditation something you still do? Or I don't think you were at the time, right?
I would say I still do what I did at the time. So for me, meditation, or the sort of effective medication, calm, quiet, focus, 'cause I would say it still comes from generally physical stuff, going for long walks in the forest or runs in the forest or something, or having a nice stretch session maybe with some quiet music or something like that going on. Stuff that relaxes both the mind and the body together. And so you sort of have to focus on doing something chill and relaxed. And I find that when the mind relaxes, so does the body, and vice versa.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I still do that stuff. So how about you?
Yeah, I've been on and off with it over the past year, but I have been more so lately, just doing the 10 minutes during the 5 a.m. club victory hour.
Oh, yeah. 10 minutes. I thought it was 20 minutes.
Yeah, it should be 20 minutes, but I figured I'd taken a few months off of doing it, so I figured just get a little bit shorter time of slightly higher quality.
Did we also discuss on the podcast how trying the 5 a.m. club freaking killed me?
Where I'm editing that episode now.
Okay.
So it hasn't been posted. This will be posted before it.
Really? Okay, so yeah, if anybody's wondering, I tried the 5 a.m. club so I was in France for about 3 months in the fall living with sanguine parents. Well, when I came back, I figured because I was waking up probably every day between 9 and 10 in France. France is 5 hours ahead. So I was like, okay, wait, it won't be that much of an adjustment when the first day I'm back in Canada.
We did the math and it was an hour.
Yeah, it was basically only an hour difference in my internal clock, or an hour or two. So I'm like, that's not that bad. So the first few days I was back in Canada, I tried it, but apparently my body doesn't at least didn't at that time respond super well to even though I was sort of jet lagged almost. I still wasn't going to bed as early as I had to wake up at 5 a.m. on the dot, so I was only getting about 6.5 hours sleep in a day, and then immediately waking up, immediately upon waking up, doing some pretty intense aerobic exercise, and then also drinking a lot of coffee in the day and stuff, and drinking some alcohol at night, and my body was like, no. So I had tons of muscle cramps and stuff. It's not a good time. I figured maybe I'll try it again in the future, but I was not digging it for then.
Sounds like you needed sleep there.
Yeah, it sounds like I was overworking myself a little too hard. But anyway.
So that was how the year started. And then the next episode was using sport to understand other humans.
Wow, that was a very specific title.
And to be honest, I could not tell you what we talked about in that.
Was that Albert Camus episode?
Yes, it was. It says that in the description.
Ah, okay, I remember that.
Oh, vaguely.
Well, I think this was one I led and also didn't prepare enough for. So I think it's kind of short.
It's only 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. This one, so Albert Camus was a French Algerian philosopher who he talked about. He was a philosopher, but he was also a footballer. And he talked about how, sport can sort of function to show people's character and stuff like that, and develop your own and stuff. Learn how to work at stuff and meet personal goals and work as a team and stuff like that. I think I talked about how specifically my getting into sports was I found good for my school and making habits to keep myself healthy and stuff. I think.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
That's pretty much all I remember from that. I remember not preparing enough at all for it.
Yeah, preparing for these episodes can be hard sometimes.
And I think that was maybe the first one that I'd entirely been yeah, I'll do this one. So I was let's talk about this a little bit and that a little bit, and that's probably enough.
Yeah.
And it was not.
I mean, I guess you could say the two-parter on your vacation in Asia was yours.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that's a lot easier because it's just tell a story that you know.
Yeah, I think that was the first one, yeah.
So that's that one, number 2.
But yeah, there were some good episodes. And I think I'm going to start to group these together for time because they kind of go together. So next we had how to stop procrastinating right now.
Very good.
As well as how to get your schoolwork done by 4:30 p.m.
That one, since you told it to me, I did it until for the entirety of the semester after that. And then the next semester was entirely online, and so I could do it anytime, so I didn't have any other commitments at all. So I didn't really do it then. But next time I have any in-person stuff, the Theodore Roosevelt model of treating every sort of thing, whether it's school or your job or whatever, as an 8-hour workday was incredibly helpful.
Yeah, that's very good.
Do you still do that too?
No, I don't think at any point I managed to get to 4:30 p.m.
Oh, I didn't actually do 4:30. I
You
would
did
just
8 hours, right?
I just did 8 hours. So I did from like whenever my first class was of the day, 8 hours after that, I was done all school stuff. So usually I think I had some 8:30. So sometimes it would be 8:30 to 4:30. Sometimes it would be even like, I don't know, like 11 to 7. I think I had some classes that started at 11, so like 11 to 7. But just having that 8 hours.
Actually, yeah, I think I do about that now that I remember. I never thought about it much that way, though I probably actually should, just because my like personal projects or like portfolio work kind of blends in my mind, and I'll usually do that first. So like if I add that in, I'll be working like 6 to 6 or something like that.
Oh,
But like if I just say the schoolwork, that's maybe like 6 to 8 hours.
okay. This dude works.
Yeah, I try and end by like 5, but it often gets pushed back.
Yeah, I remember I would always so I would go to school and do my first class, and then right at the start of the first class would start my 8 hours. And then after my classes were done, which would usually be around midday, I would walk home and make some lunch and then just hang out and watch TV for like an hour, and then spend 3 or 4 hours doing whatever homework or projects I had to do. And then I would be done by like between 4:30 to 7 sometime. So then I could just do whatever after that. And that was actually really, really nice. Even after leaving and like during the same semester going home and continuing classes and stuff from home because of COVID, I still did it then, and it was really helpful.
Yeah, no, agree. That's very good. One of the things that the how to stop procrastinating right now, I feel like, or one of the things I read recently that was very interesting was about willpower and the idea that it's a muscle and can be trained.
Yeah.
That's kind of how, or one of the many ways that like the idea of like keystone habits, how they work. Like if you get really good at exercise and you get really disciplined there, that builds up your willpower and you're able to apply it to other things.
Keystone.
Yes, keystone habits.
What does that mean?
I'll just briefly touch on it here because I kind of want to do an episode on it.
Okay.
Keystone habits are almost like habits that unlock other habits.
So key. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't feel quite right, but it's like how when someone gets into exercise and they actually get that down, all of a sudden, without really having to think about it, they start sleeping better and eating better, and they're able to work harder.
Oh, okay. So I understand what they are, but I have no idea how to express it. It's almost like doing one conscious action sort of kickstarts a bunch of like stuff you can do unconsciously that are also good.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like once you start doing this, it just you are better able or more likely to start doing a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I would be pretty curious about that because it sounds kind of nice.
So yeah, that and those are those two episodes 15, 16. And then after that, we have staying healthy while social distancing and sticking to your goals during quarantine.
You can tell when that was made. That was right the week after courses closed for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like that weekend where like everyone's going home, because it was such like, obviously we never encountered anything like that before. I remember me and my friends had like a party before we went because we're like, we're not going to see you guys in so long. Let's like have a party.
Oh no.
But yeah. Oh, and nobody got sick or anything. But it was obviously like the perspective's so different now because then it's like, well, I'm not sick and you're not sick, obviously. So it made sense. But now stuff's so funny. It's like a real example that was pretty recent was like, oh, my boyfriend is throwing up and I'm pretty sure it's because of a migraine, but do I have to call in sick from work? Which before COVID, it's like, hey, my boyfriend just threw up. Do I have to call in sick from work? Your manager would be like, are you high? like, no, you don't. But now it's like, oh, you kind of do actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I feel like it's almost for the best.
Oh, for sure. It's just, but if like you taking all these things like and removing the lens of COVID and applying them to non-COVID situations or like non-COVID periods,
yeah,
it's so ridiculous sounding. But I mean, but it makes sense now. Yeah, again, if it was like, oh yeah, my so I was hanging out with my friend a few days ago, and he has a cold right now.
Just like saying hanging out with your friend a few days ago just shot off like anxiety.
Oh, true. But yeah, if it's like imagine a year ago, if you were like, yeah, so last weekend I saw like 4 of my friends. That was like 4 or 5 days ago. And then now one of them has a cold. Should I call in sick today? Your manager would be like, what are you talking about? But again, it's necessary and makes sense now. But it's pretty funny to think of that situation.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really listened to staying healthy while social distancing or anything. I hope it's good. I think
I mean, you seem alive and all right.
Yeah, I think we were just talking about exercise, food, and sleep. So I think it's solid.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little worried because I know that I was kind of rushing like, holy shit, everybody's probably freaking out. We got to get an episode out. The people need to hear. They need to know what to do.
The COVID stock is going up. Wasn't that around when or just before you started the 5 a.m. club?
No, 5 a.m. club was much later. I got the book in August.
Okay. But was that when you had a really messed up sleep schedule then?
Quite possible.
Okay.
That was probably a little bit later.
Because that was like, what, April?
Sticking to your goals during quarantine was in 2004, so I think that's April.
Yeah, it's April, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it was overly messed up yet. It
was
was still pretty close to school.
Okay.
To being in person, but I can't remember. I mean, I could check my Fitbit, but I can't be bothered right now.
Yeah, it's pretty far back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. And then next we come to a theme throughout the year, which is parasitic social media.
Ooh.
Hot topic.
I don't remember that, actually.
Yeah, that was after or near the end of your Lent when you were giving up social media.
Oh, yeah. Well, was it all social media or was it just... Oh, it was Instagram and YouTube and Reddit.
And we probably touched on digital minimalism as well, though I don't see it in the show notes, weirdly enough. Did I just put in deep work accidentally instead of digital minimalism?
It's very possible.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
So yeah, that's social media, which we, as many people know, touched on again later.
Quite a bit more.
I feel like I'm finally getting into a good relationship with it.
Yeah? How would you say?
Well, I finally got up the nerve to delete Facebook. Like, I deleted the account completely.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which I'm very happy about. I'm still on the fence about Instagram, but I still have it.
Yes.
But I'm okay with that being on the fence for now. And I've been trying to push myself to get more into LinkedIn.
Because it's not majority run by advertising.
Exactly, yeah. And also, I think it's the social media that really fits my personality the most.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, because it's very acceptable to say, hey, last month I went to a thing that was kind of neat. Here, I'm going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh my god, I'm at this thing right now. It's a very much more like slow speed thing.
Okay, that sounds really nice, actually.
Yeah, and people will be liking your posts for like a month later because people only check in like once every few weeks sometimes.
That sounds a lot nicer.
I mean, some people do it like every day, but most people I think are pretty chill about it.
Okay.
It's just something for work that they like check every now and then.
See, I hear that about LinkedIn, and I like it. I like that it exists, but I don't want to make one.
I mean, it's still a social media account, so like if you don't need it, then I'd say don't.
Not for that reason. Not because the social media is why I don't want to make it. Just because I feel like it like makes me instantly old when I have a LinkedIn. So, I'm trying to fight it.
I mean, I guess so.
We'll see. I'll probably end up getting one. Hope not though. I probably will. But yeah, that's funny. I think back talking about that, we were probably still both like, you know, you can use them every day, and it's like sometimes like fine and stuff. But then now we're like, get rid of it.
Yeah, we were trying to like min-max them, I think, at the time. Yeah, that's what I directly addressed in our last episodes on social media. The ones about the 10 arguments.
Yeah, and you're like, actually, this guy's convinced me. You don't need to use them a little bit.
Definitely not, yeah. I've just full on deleted it, and it's okay.
You've not died. Yeah, I've deleted Instagram and YouTube from my phone. Snapchat I never really use anyway. And then Facebook I only use for the Messenger. So I don't really have a social media right now that I just like scroll on my phone. And I've found it's actually a lot more chill. It's very calm not having it compared to having it. Or like, and I deleted Reddit too. But that was also just because the content quality was kind of garbo. So, and it's very chill not having any social media on your phone.
Yeah, I agree. like it so much better. And I gotta say, also, like, especially after reading the 10 Arguments and watching the Netflix movie, I cringe every time I see someone on their feeds.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
people I know or just people in public. It's like, oh, why are you doing that to yourself?
That's kind of funny. I definitely... I don't really see it. Actually, I don't really see enough people do it. Yeah. I don't really see that many people lately, but when I do, I usually... I don't know. I don't really notice it. But I'm trying really hard not to be like some kind of weird digital hermit evangelist. But like, be like, hey, did you see this study about Google? And they're like, oh god, this freaking guy again.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like people are probably gonna start just not listening anymore. But like,
Yeah, where you're like, come on, guys, it's good stuff. And it's true. It's true. Like, yeah, I'm always like, hey, how about why don't you try deleting your Instagram or something like that? But yeah, I always feel like a weird evangelist doing it. So
I don't know. I feel like people should give it a try.
definitely,
Yeah, it's definitely worth a try at least.
I guess I don't know the best medium that has like the highest telling people about it, and they do it to lowest bothering rate.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess I would just think that whenever they complain about it,
Yeah, then I'd be like, oh, sorry.
or at this point, the people around me know that if they complain about someone posting something on social media,
You'd be like, just don't look at it.
I'm gonna say, "Why are you on social media?" And that's because they're on social media. So yeah, social media.
We had a lot to say about that.
We did, yeah, and I'm sure we will in the future.
Of course.
It's a hot topic.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so after that, much more fun episode: the life-changing magic of going to bed.
Ooh, yeah, that was actually a really fun one to record because yeah, sleep is nice. But this was because your sleep schedule was starting to get more messed up, I think.
Oh, it might be, yeah.
And you were like, I need to fix this because check out all these reasons I found why sleeping is so important.
Yep, pretty much.
I find that's like sort of you know how there's like trends in like health and lifestyle stuff throughout the years? Like let's say like in the 90s, it was like, you know, go, do a lot of like exercise and work and stuff. And like that was one. And then like minimize fats or something.
Yeah.
And then now it's like go paleo or some shit. And I think it's starting to be like get however much sleep a night, like 7 to 9 hours or whatever. I think that's starting to be one of them. Because reading some, like for instance, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, that Robin Sharma book from I think it's from the late 80s even, he was saying like you can get like 6 hours of sleep a night, and as long as you're like motivated with your goals and stuff, you won't feel tired, and you actually don't need that much sleep and stuff. But that's totally turned around now. So, very interesting.
Yeah, I think I definitely need to work on my sleep or try and figure out better sleep habits in the next year, because one of the things that I've been trying to really put into practice that we've advised doing before is doing it like a consistent wake up time.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that, but I think part of the difficulty, A, of course, is that it's like sociable to stay up later, so it's hard to get to bed on time.
Yeah.
But B, I'm pretty sure my circadian rhythm is longer than 24 hours.
How do you figure?
Well, everybody's is around 24 hours, but it's plus or minus a few hours.
Oh.
Like there was studies done that they talked about in the Why We Sleep book.
Yeah.
Like I think the first one was some professor and his assistant went into like a cave for a couple weeks with no light.
I heard it. I heard about that, and it's like they had meals every like 4 hours or something, and or like they would be served meals every 4 hours whether they were asleep or awake. And the people would always look that did it would always look well rested and like clean shaven or whatever. And
I think you're talking about a different one because these guys were legit in a cave just by themselves.
Holy, what the heck?
Their circadian rhythms and how much it would be off. But what they found off was the professor, who was like a slightly older guy, had like a 23.5-hour circadian rhythm, but his assistant, who was like a 20-something-year-old guy, had like a 26-hour circadian rhythm.
How dedicated was this assistant? Yeah.
No, it was legit just a cave with no light.
Okay, well the study I saw was these people signed up for like it was like a 2 or 3 week study or something. where they like basically live in this place for let's say it's 2 weeks. Live in this place for 2 weeks, and I think they can turn the lights on or off whenever they want to sleep or not. But there's no watches anywhere, no way of telling time. They're served meals every 4 hours, like throughout the entire day. The people who serve the meals and who the people who are working in the lab, like making sure they're alive and well and stuff, they always make sure that they're well rested, no matter what time it is and stuff like that. And they found that it was to do with circadian rhythms, but also natural sleep cycle. They found that these people would sleep towards the end of it 6 hours in one block around nighttime, and then a 2-hour nap in the day. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, what I've been trying to do is get up at 5 a.m., but I always find that I'm usually getting to sleep like 30 minutes to an hour after I would like to.
Yes.
In part, oftentimes just because I'm not tired. Like, even if I'm really good with the sleep hygiene and I'm in bed and I'm just like reading for a while with like my red light glasses on.
Wait, the cool ones or the normal looking ones?
The cool ones.
Oh.
The actual like red lens ones.
Very nice.
Yeah. Sorry, blue light blocking glasses. I said red light blocking. Yeah, even then I find that it takes me a while. I mean, part of that's also just I wind myself up with stress throughout the day, but like...
That makes sense. But I kind of find that too. Like, I think, for instance, like, it would always be nice to sleep in on Friday, I guess. Because, like, yeah, you've been waking up the same time throughout the week. But, yeah, you've been probably going to bed slightly later and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a lot on that one.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll have more to say about it.
This might be a 2-parter episode. This is going to be pretty long.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, should we make this episode, like, just going through the year kind of thing? The next one, like, yearly themes?
Mayhaps.
All right, so after that was, when is it time to quit your school clubs?
Ooh.
Oh, man, when I was part of, like, 3 Toastmasters Club.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I don't really remember that one. I think probably because I'm barely in school clubs. I just sort of do personal activities, but...
Yeah, I don't remember the specifics of what we talked about, but I remember the time very well. Because I was quitting the Humber Lakeshore Toastmasters Clubs. I'd, like, sent in my resignation letter.
Yeah.
And everything. Taking on that many Toastmasters clubs was too much.
Yeah, how'd you even do that?
Man, I just kept on joining more. Like, I had the one, and then I changed schools, so I figured I'd go to that one. But then I kept on going with the old one because I liked the people there. And then the people at the new one, or one person there was like, hey, there's another club who needs a coach to help them, like, get their club recovered to good status. So I helped them out with that. And I ended up really enjoying that last one. That was quite a bit of fun. I liked the people there, and it was a cool experience to, like, be coming in as, like, the expert.
I'm gonna whip this club into shape. And did they get the good status?
Oh yeah, they got the highest achievement that a club can earn.
Holy.
Yeah, we turned that shit around.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah, that went quite well.
Sounds like a successful podcast, or a successful episode.
I think so, yeah.
And I assume you quit the second one?
Yeah, I did. That's. I think I just quit it when we made the episode. This was my way of, like, justifying it to the world.
Yeah, you're like, this is fine, right?
I think I was feeling a bit guilty about, like, quitting a little early, but...
Sounds kind of needed.
Yeah, I don't regret the decision. Some good people there, but, like, it's too much.
I mean, 3 Toastmasters clubs is 3 more than most people, but 2 more than a lot as well, so...
Yeah, I was really sick and tired of the Toastmasters meetings by that point.
Yeah.
By the end of that. Like, even right now, I'm going, like, every other week.
Yeah.
Just because I'm still like, all right, this is a bit much.
And that's a 1/6 as many as you did before?
And there were times, too, when I'd give, like, a speech at each of them.
Whew.
Because I was trying to get through the pathways. So I was like, all right, I can give 3 speeches this week. It's fine.
You didn't just, like, give the same speech to everyone?
No, I'd come up with new ones.
Holy cow.
So that I'd actually get through all the different projects.
Impressive.
Yeah, so that's that. Ooh, then the next one after that was Dear Future Self.
I don't really remember what I said in that. I remember doing it, but I don't remember what I said.
Ooh, this is a good reminder, actually. It was in 2006. What's that?
June.
June 17th. It was a letter to ourselves 1 year from the day.
Oh, okay.
About like what we're thinking about and what we want them to know.
So then it's kind of good that we don't remember it because it's not for us yet.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I guess we'll talk about that in a year. Shit, I forgot about that. I guess we'll put that on the episode calendar for next year.
And we know the exact day.
Yeah, okay. Looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have no idea. The show notes aren't telling me much. We've got the first episode that we ever did, Toastmasters Distinguished Club Program, Principles of Neural Science, 5th edition, Rocco's Area, and episode 9, Getting Back on the Wagon.
What? That's the show notes?
That's the show notes.
Huh. Wow, okay, that's pretty confusing.
Interesting, yeah. Wow, and the science of well-being and why we sleep aren't in here. That's weird. One of those is always in the show notes.
Do we have one of those dudes' books in the show?
No.
What?
Not any of that either. Yeah.
Wait, which dude is that again?
Cal Newport.
Cal Newport.
Yeah.
Cal Newport is basically like 3/4 responsible for this podcast.
Yeah, seriously. Oh yeah, we'll have to pencil in next year. I think in the spring. I pre-ordered his next book. So.
Oh, very good. Gotta love Cal.
Yeah, we'll do an episode. I'll get through that fast.
Big man Cal.
Oh yeah. I think what was the title? I forget it right now. It's something along the lines of like a world without email or a world after email or something like that.
Doesn't sound that crazy, to be honest. That's 99.999999999% of the world's history. So
I think it's going to be about managing email, but
huh.
You know what? Cal Newport hasn't got us wrong yet. So
no, I don't think it'll be wrong. I don't know if it'll be that relevant to specifically me. I just kind of check it sometimes, and that's pretty much it. No email addiction here.
You're not like what's his name? Travis?
That one guy, yeah. Travis. Sorry, Travis.
I've heard him talk more about that actually. He said that was a pretty common response to the show. Like, what the hell are you addicted to?
Yeah. Did he ever explain like more?
Yeah, apparently, like especially when you work at Google, you get like thousands a day just from different people in the company.
That's so gross.
I know. So like, and there's so many of them of people like directly at you, and you feel like this social obligation to be responding to them.
Oh,
because it's like people are reaching out to you to like talk to you about this or that or whatnot. So he was just constantly like going on and checking that and like responding to shit. Yeah,
I found it so funny because at my life stage, it would be literally impossible for me to be addicted to email unless my addiction was literally sending them. In which case, I would just be sending everybody emails about like nothing. I don't even like, because I probably receive like between 1 to 10 emails a day. That's a very safe bet, I think, on like my main email account. So that takes about 5 minutes of my time.
Like, as long as I'm being pretty good about unsubscribing from stuff, I can get down to like 10.
Yeah.
But they pile up, but they're mostly like, they're not important.
I'm pretty liberal with what I put in my spam folder, so.
Fair. That's good. Yeah. All right, so that was Dear Future Self. And then, next was 10 books that will change your life.
Ooh. Let's see if we remember. I assume you put it in the show notes?
Yes.
Okay, so I remember mine to be...
No, but what were mine? I guess yours.
Oh, yours were... There's definitely some Cal Newport going on in there. There's gotta be. How are you gonna disrespect big men Cal?
Jeez, did I not? I must have.
There's gotta be at least one.
Can't look because they're all mixed in together. All right, but yeah, make your guesses.
Didn't you put... What is it? From the Ashes?
The hell is that?
It was like some life and health and productivity books. But then there was also... Wasn't there also like some autobiography in there?
Yes.
Was that not From the Ashes? Tara Westover?
Tara Westover, yes. From the Ashes. I don't know what that is. It was Educated.
Oh, Educated. Yeah, From the Ashes is a different one. That's a dude whose name I forget.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Tara Westover's one. That was one, right? Yeah. Educated. There was also So Good They Can't Ignore You.
That was a more recent read.
Oh, okay, you hadn't read that yet.
Yeah, no. I might put that on.
You had a lot of the books you talk about are like very similar in like ideas. So there were at least 2 or 3 that were like that were like general lifestyle. Was there some Robin Sharma on there?
No, I hadn't read that either.
You hadn't read that either. Something about minimalism.
You could say that, yeah.
By that one guy who only has like one t-shirt or something.
I don't know who that is.
Or he has only the same T-shirt, and that's like all he wears or whatever. He's some like vlogger or something.
Oh, Matt D'Avella?
Yeah.
He hasn't written a book.
Oh, okay. Okay, what are yours?
Okay, if I can remember it. The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up.
Oh, yeah! Marie Kondo.
Educated.
Yes.
I believe I had Limitless on there.
What was that one about?
Which was by Jim Quick, about making your mind limitless.
Oh, I don't remember anything about that one. Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. There was definitely a recency bias in picking the books.
Yeah.
I think I said that for a few of them.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely did.
But yeah, there was those ones, and then books that have had an impact on my life.
It's gotta be some Cal.
Because Life-Changing Magic was number 1, Limitless was 5, Educated was 4. What were 2 and 3?
At least one of them. There was another sort of like how to live your life, productivity kind of thing on there.
Did I include like the Checklist Manifesto or something? I don't think so.
How to win at something? No, how to win at college.
How to win at college? Maybe.
I don't think that would have been on there. We talked about that, but
yeah, I still can't look at the list because they're all mixed in with yours. But yeah, we'll come back to that. So yours, I think you had Siddhartha on there.
Yes.
You didn't have The Secret Life of Trees, but you said at the next episode.
Oh, well, no, I didn't have it on my list because I didn't remember it. But then you said something about it. I'm like, oh, dude, that's actually got to be on my list. So that's an honorary list item just because I didn't think of it when I was making the list. But it would definitely be on there.
You also had, I think it was, the Tao Te Ching was in there, right?
I think so, yes.
Norwegian Wood was the top one.
Maybe. That would definitely not be the top one now. It's just my favorite book.
It always cracks me up whenever I look it up and there's actually like a book about like lumberjacking by a Norwegian guy.
Yeah, that's so
Norwegian
funny.
Wood.
Not wrong. That's actually more Norwegian Wood because the book's just titled because of the Beatles song. But that's really a Norwegian book about Norwegian wood.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. That one's probably better. Probably better book.
Quite possibly, yeah. And what else would you have in there?
I think I can only think of one that you didn't
I can't remember
name.
any others.
I think the only other one I remember is one. Let's guess the Bible. I don't think it was on there, but let's throw the Bible in there somewhere. No, I don't think it was. Probably because I haven't read it cover to cover. Well, I read a children's Bible. Haven't read a full Bible cover to cover. And I think The Hobbit was on there. Did you guess?
Ooh, yes, it was. That was number 5, I think.
Yeah, I think it was number 5. Again, don't know if that'd be on there now. It's just one of my favorite books.
Yeah, I think the next episode you said you'd replace it with something else.
I think I would replace that with The Secret Life of Trees.
Yeah. All right, I'll look at the list now. I mixed it up so
Yeah.
that people couldn't see it, but we'll be able to. What did we not? Why We Sleep. Oh my god, yes.
Who's that?
By Dr. Matthew Walker.
That's okay, yeah.
That was one of mine. Yes, of course. Jesus. We've talked about that at least twice this episode already. Okay. Oh yeah, The Pursuit of Success in a Foreign Land by Tom Pham.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking all about that. That's quite cool. Because you knew him, right?
Yeah, I did.
Very cool.
He sent me a copy of the book. So
Oh,
it's like,
lovely.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And your other one was Slaughterhouse 5.
Oh yeah. Again, don't know if that'd be on there. Just one of my favorite all-time books. I don't know if it would be books to change your life. Maybe books that changed my life would be a more accurate list.
Yeah, that's more or less what we were going at.
Yeah.
I think that was it. But yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. And then after that was the A's to Z's of Getting a Job.
Alrighty.
Which
Pretty
was,
pretty good.
I think it was pretty solid. I should listen back to that one again, actually.
Probably same soon.
After that was Super Chill But Good Job Plan. It was the Odyssey plans.
Yeah, I remember that. Making all these charts. When does the Yale course come in?
It does not.
Oh no?
Remember, because I told you I'm waiting until we finish the series to release it.
And neither one of us has finished the course yet.
So I want to talk at some point in this episode, or if we're making this a 2-parter in the next episode, about future plans or what we want to do next year. I think that's on there.
Pretty important,
of course.
Yeah, that's definitely on there.
Because we've got 2 episodes in the bank. They're not They're not edited yet, but they are recorded.
And there's like some decent amount. There's a decent amount of talk in there. So
And we've legit referenced like most of it since then. It's been like 6 months or something.
I keep forgetting. Probably once every like 2 months, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, like those episodes," and you'll be like, "Those aren't released," and I'm like, "Oh yeah."
I think that course is the most referenced thing in our show notes, but we still haven't released the episodes.
Holding the people in suspense.
I haven't counted yet, but I was looking back through them, and I think it's that or Why We Sleep are the most referenced things.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I mean, maybe Cal Newport if you add all his books together.
He would stand a fair chance as well.
So yeah, there's that. And then after that, we went to How to Win at College/University.
Yes,
Excellent.
very good.
Thank you, Cal.
Mm-hmm. And we did win.
Very much so.
I mean,
yeah.
actually not yet, but we'll see.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're getting there. We're getting there. And then after that is working hard a bad sign?
I don't really remember that.
Oh yes. Okay. So that was about growth versus fixed mindsets.
Ooh, okay. So it's like, and also the title would be a reference to sort of like busy versus productive.
It's the idea of people who are generally more fixed mindset, or you could also say more perfectionist, that the fact that I'm working hard at this means that I'm not good at this. I'm just inherently bad at this, and so I shouldn't really try.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as opposed to a growth mindset person who would be like, wow, I'm working hard at this. This is something that's worthwhile, or like I'm learning so much, or this is just what it takes to get through this.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
I remember that actually. I remember some of the points.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased, at least with how those lessons have played out in my life. I think.
Oh, good.
I think I've finally been internalizing them, which is nice.
That is good.
I mean, we did say that like it's like Alcoholics Anonymous. Once a fixed mindset, always a fixed mindset. You always got to be on. So like I'm still on it, but
yeah,
I feel like it's going well.
Oh, good. You're an unfixed fixed mindset.
Yes.
Or a fixed mindset.
One could say.
Yeah. No. Unfixed fixed mindset. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just. Yeah. Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Right. So there's that, and then we got into what is a good life.
I remember that.
To be the start of philosophy. Yeah. We touch on the science of well-being's in here. We've got perma in here. We've got hedonism in here.
Oh yeah, perma.
Oh yeah, we ended up just talking about how Bill Gates is the ideal human being.
The ideal, yeah. Live the best life ever. No, I don't know. I mean, from a utilitarian point of view,
yes,
I would say making a lot of money in order to affect goals that you think are important is pretty much the best thing you can do. Or gaining a lot of essentially power to affect goals you find important. But maybe from a non-utilitarian point of view, it might be different.
It's entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is one of the big questions of philosophy: is what is the goal or what's the objective? How do you define that?
Yeah,
because that's one of the problems in trying to figure out what is good or what is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like the clearest definition I've heard, or the most concrete, is like something is good if it is accomplishing its goal well.
Okay, well that's true, I guess. If you were a good bricklayer, you're good at laying bricks. Yeah, I guess, and that's sort of like, is it true good, like, is your definition utilitarian or deontological or like virtue based? So those are the main three, I think.
Yeah, I believe they are. That's what Chidi said at least. So I'm gonna.
Oh yeah. So for utilitarian, he's good. He's the best. But I mean, not him specifically, but like, I don't really know. But for like amass a lot of wealth and power to affect positive change on a large scale. That's the sort of the utilitarian peak.
Yeah, more or less. So yeah, that's a good life. I'm glad we got into the real questions.
Of course.
And then after that was cooking basics so you don't starve.
Also very important to life.
Yeah, very good. I think that's become one of our more popular episodes.
I mean, it's very like straight to the point. How to cook so you do not die. Is that where we came about? Like, try going vegetarian for a bit if you don't know how to cook.
That is exactly it. Yeah, that's where we came up with that.
And that's a pretty good one. Also, if you just want to save money or something.
Yeah, still a great tip, honestly.
Not necessarily for life, but just give it a try. Maybe. You don't have to, but it helps with learning to cook and with helping your wallet a bit. So
Yeah, solid. It's a good time. After that, we went on to the Tao Te Ching.
I remember that one. That was in France. The last one might have also been, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm torn on that one. I haven't listened back to it in a while, but I don't know. It was a little all over the place, which, I mean, the Tao Te Ching is, so that's kind of expected.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of random. Like, it's poetic prose. So
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we didn't come to it with enough, but I don't know what else I would come to it with. I don't know.
And then, so after Tao Te Ching,
Is 10 arguments for deleting your social media accounts, part 1 and 2.
the big one.
Oh, yeah.
How's the viewership for that? Because I would say those are that two-parter is one of my favorite ones we've done for sure.
I agree. The first one, it seemed pretty like middle of the road. The second one definitely seems to have taken a dip, though it's still new, so who can say?
Okay, because yeah, I think that was the one where like it seems like I altered my perspective the most in like sort of, or like one episode that sort of altered my perspective the most.
Yeah, that one was definitely a highlight. Or those two. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was really good. And obviously, yeah, we've said lots of stuff about that, so I don't think we really need to recap too much there.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll touch on it again
Mm-hmm.
as we think about it more. I don't know. I think that's good though. You want to be as intentional as you can with these things.
What do you mean?
If you're not, it has a tendency of just taking over.
Oh, like having concrete rules?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or at least concrete boundaries.
It'll take whatever time you give it, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what they're built towards. Hearing some of the people get interviewed, like the heads of the companies, it sounds like they're starting to get like more of an idea of building it for good, but they only started thinking about that in like 2016 for obvious reasons. So they're still really not that far along, and that's also just the PR, so I don't know. I assume they're serious about it.
It is all a brand, so.
Yeah, exactly.
If it becomes a matter of public interest for building social media for good and for minimizing addiction and stuff, whether or not they do it out of the goodness of their hearts or for the good of the brand, if it gets done, who cares, you know?
Sounded like a utilitarian.
Indeed, actually. I mean, yeah, maybe it won't result in the same amount of CEOs getting into heaven, whichever principle you believe in, but it affects my life the same.
And that's all that really matters.
Of course, yeah.
As long as our lives and the lives of the listeners are better off, that's really all that matters.
Care about you guys, whoever you are.
All right, so that's 10 arguments for deleting your social media accounts. And then we come to the 5 a.m. club.
Ooh.
Whoop. Own your morning. Elevate your life. You love to see it.
You're still going strong on that, eh?
Yeah, I have been. I'm kind of torn on whether to push it to like 6 or 7 while I'm on vacation.
Do you take weekends?
No. But still get up at the same time on weekends, and I'll do the victory hour on weekends.
So 7 days a week?
Yeah. And sometimes I'll work weekends as well.
Fair enough. My goal for like whether for work, when I'm working a job, it's no issue because I just don't work on the weekends. But for school, I always have a goal of setting aside one of the weekend days to do absolutely no schoolwork. Usually Sunday. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't work. Like if I have a big project due Monday and I like haven't done it, then I'm not just gonna fail or something like that.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But that's very interesting and it wouldn't feel exhausting or anything because you've been doing it for so long. It's just like what you do now, I guess.
Yeah, there's no problem with getting up at 5 a.m. I do kind of feel the exhaustion because, like I was saying earlier, I'm having trouble with getting enough sleep each night. So instead of it being like a really variable how I feel every day,
yeah,
when it was like all over the place, you know, when you're sleeping like 10 hours and then 4 hours and then like 8 and then 6.
Ooh, yeah.
That's really all over the place. Now it's more consistent, at least.
So you're just like a lot of the time like slightly tired instead of sometimes being absolutely deathly tired and sometimes not.
I still go through phases of doing it better. Like I think for a while I was waking up at 5 a.m. but getting over like 7.5 hours of actual sleep time.
So that's like good territory.
Yeah, I figure my goal is to try and get at least like 7.5 hours actual sleep time.
I think that's like pretty much the recommended amount. Between 7 to 9 hours a night for like most adults is the ideal.
And I mean, what gives me hope too is that I think that's sleep opportunity, so like time in bed.
Really?
Or that's my guess. I can't tell because they have to be talking about sleep opportunity, right? Like, because most people aren't tracking the minutes on their Fitbit or whatever.
I don't know. But maybe in like medical studies they do.
Yeah, that's true.
They do like performance tests, and it's like people perform the best when they get 7 to 9 hours of actual sleep.
That's true. Yeah, in medical studies they do say that.
Yeah, I find for me, like, relating to actual sleep, to feel functional, if I get 6.5 to 7 hours of actual sleep, I can function in my day, but I'll be tired. If I get 7.5 to 8 hours of actual sleep, not just being in bed, but actual sleep time in a night, that's the borderline between like functional and like actually feeling like on top of my game, like completely good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've been pretty frequently getting like 6 to 7, which.
So you're not dying. Yeah.
I've been getting some good techniques to keep myself up. One of which isn't great in that my coffee intake's been increasing.
Oh, how much?
My highest this semester was like 4 in a day.
I think I've done that before, but that is a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sick of it by the end of that. Though I'd also have like maybe like an extra like 4 teas.
Holy shit! 4 coffees and 4 teas?
I just get another one every like, I don't know, 50 minutes or so, hour or so.
Wait, caffeinated tea or no?
Yeah, like black tea.
Holy cow. Okay, that is a lot.
Well, it's just going from like maybe 6 to 12 or something, I don't know.
Yeah, because when I'm at home, I always have coffee pretty much because we drink it at home. And I usually, like, just because coffee is around in the morning, and once in the morning and once in the early afternoon at home, so I just have 2 cups a day usually. Sometimes I'll have 3 if I like go wherever and somebody's like, you want a coffee? Then sure. But usually, yeah, I have 2 a day and that works fine for me. But yeah, sometimes I don't think I've ever had 4 coffees and 4 teas. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a bit mad.
Yeah.
I'm not liking that. But the better ways that I manage it is with like exercise and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Again, like that working out first thing in the morning is great. I can't run around while I'm like living with my parents, like around the house at like 5 a.m. So I've been doing more like body weight exercises.
Aiden, what the hell are you doing? That's funny. I find actually exercise doesn't work as well for me for that end because just I always take my workouts or exercise like pretty intensely. So if I'm like sleep deprived and then I try to work out, I'll work out just as hard, if not harder. So then I'm just kind of killing myself a little bit. And so then I think that's why the 5 a.m. club thing the first few days like hurt me so hard because I was like, oh, I'm tired. I'll have to work out even harder so that I wake myself up more. And then my body's like, freaking relax. But I'll have to work on that.
I don't know. I think there's a balance there too because there's not much time to warm up.
Yeah,
20 minutes.
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think you want to push it too hard, but just enough to like get up a bit of a sweat.
I think I could honestly, I think I might try 5 a.m., but without working out immediately after I wake up. That might be the next course of action.
Okay, just swap out the order a bit.
Yeah.
That could work.
Or just try maybe starting just 5 a.m. and then try that for a while, and then maybe once that's like down, or like feeling comfortable, then I could do the working out in the morning. Or although I still might not because I find it I like to do it just like whenever the will strikes me during the day, which is like usually late morning to mid afternoon.
Yeah, I usually do mid afternoon.
Anyway, that was 5 a.m. club.
And that brings us to the 2020 year review.
Holy, that's this.
Yeah, that is. Wow.
Wow.
And we've been talking about all of the episodes. And so, of course, to summarize this episode, we have to go through all the episodes again. No, that's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been the podcast this year.
And overall, I would say it's been an intense year, but there's been some good to come out of it.
Yeah, let's leave like the rating the year and going over the year to next episode. Do we want to just talk about the future of the podcast a bit? Like,
yeah, sure, yeah. That sounds good.
I just interrupted you while you were summarizing the last year, and now I'm just going to ask again. How did you feel overall about the last?
Well, specifically with the podcast, I thought, especially at the end of the year, we got a pretty good rhythm going of call once a week, record every other week. So it's like planning, record with on a weekly basis, which I think is really good, because then it sort of like puts less pressure, because you always know sort of exactly, like, you have about a week to plan it, or like, you know, you always have to call once every weekend usually. Or...
I really like the pace as well too. Like, we were trying to record an episode every week for a while there to like get ahead.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't like that. I found that just too often. Like, I didn't have more stuff to say, and there was no time to prepare.
Having the stuff to say is important, because, like, sure, we can, like, have a topic and stuff, but if we haven't really experienced that much or learned that much in the past week, then, like, there isn't going to be that much to say. It's going to be, like, 20 minutes long.
Whereas if we're doing it every 2 weeks, we usually have a few good ideas going, and then that's just enough time between the episodes or between ideas that I can usually like read another book that I'm like, holy shit, Evan, you need to know about this.
Yeah, and you can like think about it for a while, and
yeah, exactly. There's just so much more time. I really like that.
So yeah, probably one episode every 2 weeks can be expected-ish for this coming year, but who's to say?
I mean, actually, yeah, that is a good question. Last year we said that we'd commit to another year. How are you feeling about another year of the podcast?
I'm feeling good about it. I think it's definitely going to happen.
Excellent.
I don't know what it'll contain at all, especially considering what happened this year with the podcast, and just what happened in the year in general. Couldn't have predicted a lot of that. So we'll see.
Yeah, who can say? I mean, I've got a few ideas about the things we could cover.
Oh yeah,
the general direction. I like the philosophy episode.
Me too. I find those, but I have to read more philosophy. I've put lots of books like that on my Christmas list.
Yeah, I know you picked a lot of the stuff that I recommended. It'd probably be good to like split up a bit more, cover more ground.
Well, I put a lot you recommended. That's mostly like the Western philosophy.
Okay.
I put a lot of the Greeks, basically. I put a lot of the Greeks on there, but I also put some. I put a few books with the ideas and stuff of like some Gandhi, some MLK, some other ones. I mean, it depends which ones I get, but
that sounds fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
yeah, I'd love to get more into that. One of the ones on the top of my mind that I'd like to read a lot more about is the Stoics.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people say about it, and a lot of like misinterpretation.
Yeah, but they also feel kind of, I'll say, self-helpy in that they're kind of over the top.
The Stoics were Greek, right?
Some Greek. It was largely Roman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At that point, they were conquered by the Romans. It's like mostly in the Hellenistic age.
Oh, okay.
I want to say that is. Like one of the most famous Stoics is Marcus Aurelius, who was the emperor of Rome.
The legend. He seemed cool.
Yeah, I still haven't read his book, but it's on my shelf, and I want to at some point.
Very nice.
So we can do that at some point. And maybe a bunch of other ones. Also ethical systems. Like you talked to me a little while back, like maybe a month or two ago, about what was it? Not virtue. The other ones, utilitarianism versus deontological ethics.
Well, yeah. But then also he had deontology versus utilitarianism, and specifically there was like rule utilitarianism, which I was like, what the heck is this? That's just deontology. But
yeah, and that's just like, I don't know. There's something that just bothers me about the rule-based stuff that I just keep coming back to every couple days. I'll just get angry about it. Like, no, there's just something wrong. I just
you can't really figure out what it is, but you're like, there's something that doesn't.
Okay, I think I do. The like explanation I've got more or less is that it's kind of like the difference between a Riemann sum and a differential.
Okay.
In that the Riemann sum, right, is just calculating the area by adding up a bunch of squares or rectangles, and if you've got not enough rectangles, they're really big, it's easier to do, but it's an inaccurate picture of what's actually right.
Oh,
but
okay.
if you do enough, you're essentially just getting so small that you're just taking a differential, but doing it in a really convoluted way.
So that's the way you're relating rule utilitarianism to deontology?
No, rule utilitarianism to
regular utilitarianism?
Yeah, or the rules to utilitarianism.
Okay,
yeah.
so deontology is rules-based. So deontology versus utilitarianism.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
So basically you're saying that deontology and rules-based philosophy seem too broad to take in the nuances of actual life.
What do you think the odds are that we just lost a whole bunch